It was almost 20 years ago that James Bond piloted a BMW 750iL from the back seat in Tomorrow Never Dies. While he now has a taste for British cars, BMW has kept with tradition, launching its flagship 6th generation 7 Series in Australia. It's the most luxurious BMW on sale in Australia and brings with it a whole bunch of new technology since the last generation was launched all the way back in 2008. Under that bonnet is a mammoth 4.4 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine that makes 330 kilowatts of power and a huge 650 newton meters of torque. Almost as cool as the car is this smart key, with BMW one of the first manufacturers to innovate the key as we know it. The smart key allows you to check the status of the car remotely, lock and unlock the car, and even set the climate control. But the coolest part is the autonomous parking feature. Unfortunately, we don't get that one in Australia. At a little over 5 metres long, the new long version of the 7 Series doesn't exactly shrink around you, but it does manage to hold the road extremely well and offer one of the smoothest rides in the business. In fact, I'd liken it to a Rolls Royce. Bumps are absorbed with little fuss while the ride hunkers down in sport mode, and it can also be raised at the push of a button. Speaking of the sport mode, this is the button you need to push to really stretch the 750's legs. At the push of that button there, it sharpens the throttle, firms up the ride, and gets that twin turbo V8 singing. In fact, it's so good that it's ready for a 0 to 100 dash of just 4.7 seconds. At the front of the car, active air vents open and close depending on cooling requirements, but when they are closed, they help push the fuel consumption down and increase aerodynamics. In fact, it can go down to an incredible 8.5 litres per 100 k's on the combined cycle. While you're on the move, a giant LCD screen in front of the driver takes care of trip computer and critical instruments, while a new LCD screen down here takes care of your climate controls, but it is a little bit low resolution. It would have been great to see something like a retina display to really sharpen things up a bit. One of the best parts about the interior is the haptic response on some of the buttons. Over on the stereo controls, all you need to do is hover your finger over and it'll display what the function is. But the best feature is down on the seat, where you just touch the seat button and it'll basically tell you what you're changing. In cars like this with a million different functions on the seats, it's always handy to know what you're actually moving. iDrive has now been refined and it's much easier and quicker to use. But one of the best features is this 12.3-inch screen, which is now also a touchscreen. Arguably though, the highest tech part of this car is actually in the headlights. Laser headlights are about 1,000 times more powerful than LEDs and use less power to operate. And they're about strong enough to melt the paint off cars. You may think that a car like this is hard to park. Well, think again. Including an automatic parking feature, which is pretty impressive technology, what we're also able to do is select a third-party director's view of the car. So we'll activate our parallel parking feature. This is slightly different to other cars where you have to monitor the brakes and control the throttle. With this, you let go of everything. It'll brake, accelerate, even change gears. So it's currently pulling us into this park, being mindful of the curb and not scratching those incredibly expensive wheels. It's now popped it into drive and is going to push us forward to the car in front, and then when it's complete, it's going to put it into park as well. That third-party director's view is actually really handy because you're able to see the car from all different angles, but this car's best sampled from the rear, so I'm going to get somebody to take over while I ride shotgun. This is where all the magic happens. In addition to having full control of my seat, I can move it back and forward, up and down, the whole works. I have a fridge in the back here to cool the drinks, and I have full control of the car using this Android tablet. This little unit right here allows me to change everything in the car, including interior lighting, the visors, the seats, the comfort controls, and even the media and TV that I have right here in front of me. I can also pop some wireless headphones on as well, just not to disturb the other passengers. One of the best features of this interior is actually the panoramic glass roof. It's filled with over 15,000 lighting elements that light up at night and create this incredible effect as you look through the roof into the night sky. Another great feature is the BMW Vitality program. So I've selected it here, and on the screen in front of me, it's giving me instructions. So it's telling me to push my shoulder into the chair, and it has a meter to tell me how well I've done. This whole program is designed to exercise your muscles and prevent fatigue, which, can get pretty hard when you're sitting in the back here for long periods of time. Once you're done exercising your muscles, you can relax by turning on the massage seats and cranking the optional Bowers & Wilkins 1400 watt premium diamond surround sound system. At just over $325,000 with a few option boxes ticked, this German limousine really is the last word on luxury, technology and performance. But is it as good as the Mercedes-Benz S-Class? Well, we'll have to wait to test them both back to back and find out.